have had a very different background. Almost you can say I've come from burgers to beauty. So that's an interesting, you're going to say, well, what have burgers got to do with beauty? But I came straight into the industry having been an area manager for Kentucky Fried Chicken, Pizza Hut, and a new startup burger industry. And that was my immediate experience. And I was an area manager and a regional manager, so I knew how to run businesses. That's the critical point I'm making here. So I understood customers, how to make them feel good, mainly with a burger, not with a facial or a hair, but I understood how to manage a service industry. And I'd been in that industry for 15 years, so I wanted a change. So I went to a consultancy and said, I want a change. I want still to be making people feel good, but not in the food industry. So they sent me to Harrods Hair and Beauty Salon in Knightsbridge, which is a huge salon on the top floor, the 5th floor. I had over 150 staff, which was made up of really like a little mini region. So I had 30, 40 hairdressers, I had 15 people in the nail area, I had 20 colorists, 20 very grumpy barbers on the bottom floor, and I had 40 therapists. So I walked into an enormous business which traditionally, and this is the important part to come back to later, traditionally the company had promoted their best hairdresser or their best therapist to the position of manager. And lo and behold, after about 6 months or a year, those people didn't want to do that job anymore because nobody had given them the skills on how to manage. They were good at what they did, their craft was fantastic, but they didn't have the skills to manage. So it wasn't their fault, but what happened, they used to say, well, get me out of this position, I don't want to be managing people, being uncomfortable, I'll go back to the floor. So when I came in from a different perspective. I was used to managing a business. What I had to learn was how to communicate and motivate hairdressers, stylists, colorists, barbers, beauticians. So I had to learn it the other way around. And that was my learning curve. And I learned very quickly. And I really enjoyed it. So that was my beginning in the industry. And before that, I worked in public relations and marketing. And my original degree, an MA, was in graphic design. So I have this kind of toolbox of stuff that I can share with people. And so that's why I became a consultant and why I started to work with the industry in the beauty and the hairdressing sector. Before I started my leadership program when I was at Harrods, the initial challenges were to understand what motivates creative people. So yes, it was a sort of creative process, but it was about delivering what the customer expects that particular pizza to be like. When you have a hairdresser or a therapist who are very emotionally intelligent, who are creative, you can't say to them, just knock out that pizza with 21 pepperoni, because that doesn't work, because how they feel every morning will change what they do every day. How the customer feels will change. So I learned that you have to be very, very careful how you manage your team to make sure you don't stifle their creativity and their passion. What I did around that, which I learned in the restaurant industry, was to put structures in to support their creativity, to support the way that they work. So, for example, you know that having an assistant as a colorist or a hairdresser is really important. So, you know, a really good hairdresser should be able to probably manage 1 or 2 chairs. If they do color as well, they may have a blow dry waiting there, they may have a color that's on here. You know, the really good ones can have a perm there, and they've got something they can manage 4 chairs. But they can't do that without an assistant who's really supporting them and looking after the clients. So when I came into the industry, I came into my salon and I said to my hairdressers, what do you need to do your job properly? And they said, we need assistants. We can't have 1 assistant being shared between 5 hairdressers. We can't give the service to our customer. We can't do the work we're asked to do. And it makes us feel uncomfortable and stressed, and then we can't be creative. So the first thing I did was I went out and recruited 20 assistants, which costs the business a lot of money, but long term, you get it all back. So my financial knowledge and systems knowledge and management experience helped me to support creative hairdressers to do a better job, which in the end meant we were a better salon and we gave a better customer service. So that's the sort of challenge I had. The other thing was to actually do reviews with my hairdressers. 150 people, half an hour review. I sat down with my hairdressers for 3 solid weeks, and they hadn't had a review in 12 years. So if you, as a manager or as a leader of a business, don't sit down and talk to your people in private about what they need and where we can help them, and likewise where perhaps they could improve certain areas of their performance, you're never going to get improved performance. So that was a commitment that I did twice a year, which perhaps other people hadn't either thought of or didn't have the skills to do. So those were things I'd learned from different industries. I remember when I left, they said to me, Susie, we didn't like everything that you did, because of course if it was tough they didn't like it, but you were always fair. And I think that was the greatest accolade, that if I was fair and I was balanced, that was good. Hundreds, I lose count. I've worked, as I say, in Europe, but also in Asia. I've worked in the Middle East in the past, but that's been more bespoke consultancy. And now I'm thrilled to be launching here in the UAE. So it is truly an international program. The difference about this program is it's not just a one-off seminar. Our VIP clients will sign up to a year's mentoring and development, which means they have a structure again for them to go out of their business for a little while and think about things, and then go back to the business to work, on it as well as in it. And because so much happens, we think we're fearful of, if I leave the business to do my own personal development or my business development, something might happen. But if we don't leave the business and don't do that, something definitely will happen, because we haven't planned for the future development of the business. So by being with my clients and EIDEAL's clients for a whole year, we give them a support structure to take their whole business to another level.
The idea behind the EIDEAL Santi Business Leadership program is to basically support the salon industry, our loyal salon partners, to take their business to the next level. And we're targeting the best salons in the UAE, the salons that are currently doing well and really well, and they're big chains. And having Susie with us, it's a great honor to have you with us and to partner with Susie. And she's been obviously in the industry for so long, and she ran the biggest salon in Europe. So she's been there, she went through the whole process, she knows it all, and she's just going to share with our salon partners the shortcuts that will help them take their business to the next level. I think this is something that we lack in the industry in the region, and the idea is to support them back and give them back for their loyalty towards the brand. The response was great, actually, and this is how exactly we expected it, and I'm happy that everyone supported the program and the idea. We really targeted no more than 10 salons from the very beginning, and all of them are going to be on board, hopefully, in the next 2 days.
People knocking at the door today
Exactly.
saying,
Can we come in? And
because the news got out.
Exactly. Yeah. We'd like to accommodate everyone, but it's a very select program for selective number of people. The idea behind this program, I think we both agree that we're going to develop this program on a yearly basis. So, for instance, for the group who's going to be on the first edition, for the second year there will be a more advanced program, probably looking into franchising and how to develop their business into regional, kind of salon chains. And hopefully we take the program as well to the whole region in the neighboring countries. I think that would be something very interesting for other countries.
Well, I'm very excited to be working with Haysam and EIDEAL in this new market. In anyone's career, to have a completely new challenge in a new culture is just phenomenal. So for me, I want to keep on building it with Haysam, as you said, across the region. There's so many things that Haysam and I have talked about that we want to do. This is just the beginning. So we start this year, we learn, we grow, we put in some of the new ideas. And so for me, this is the next stage of my life. This is where I want to be. And I'm really looking forward to it. I was so excited the past couple of weeks as we've been Skyping and all of the plans we have for this region. So I'm here, this is it, and I'm really looking forward to it. Yes.